Hello and welcome to tutorial 4 of our Unity introduction series. So in this we're going to create a countdown timer. Okay, so we're in Unity, we've already created our object, we've got our coins, we know how many coins we've actually got. So now we want to give our player a fixed amount of time to collect them all before it's game over. Okay, so most of this is going to be done just purely in code now. So I'm going to come into our code file, I'm going to create a public float timer. I'm just going to set the default to 30 seconds. Now we can override this from either in the code itself or from the designer, which is why I've made it public. I'm going to come down into our update code, where I'm going to say timer minus equals time dot delta time. That's kind of it. It's going to take away however much time has passed between the frames. On our UI, in fact, I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm going to move that so it happens before. Shouldn't make any real difference, but that's going to happen straight away. I'm now going to add a new line. This is again the reason I do the temp thing. In fact, no, I don't. I've already written the line, haven't I? Ahead of myself. Instead of doing 0, 0, 0, I can now put timer plus timer. Now at this point, in fact, I'll just show you what it's going to do. Let's just save that. Let's go have a quick look. Okay, main game. So we can now see time is 30 seconds. So if you decide 30 is too long or too short, you can override this in the UI. So I'm going to press play. We should now see our timer counting down. It's a lot of decimal places. Now if you want that, if you're happy for the place here, then that's fine, keep it. But I want to turn it to just one decimal place. So I'm going to put timer dot to string, open brackets, and now I can just put speech marks, and if I just put 0.0, that will give us one decimal place. And likewise, that would give us two decimal places. This would make sure we always see 2 digits before. But I'm just going to stick with that. Again, play about with it, experiment, see what you like the look of. What works for your game. So now we have a quick look. So there we go, we've got countdown. Now, what you could also do, instead of having 30 seconds fixed, is you could actually work out how many coins are there in the scene. So when it starts, we could say timer equals total number of coins times, let's say you were going to give them 5 seconds to find each coin. So in that way, let's just see if that actually works. In fact, let's give them 3 seconds, because we already know it's going to be 30 seconds. So they're going to get 3 seconds each, 5 coins, so 15 seconds, that's what we expect it to start from. Let's have a quick look. We should also see it update in this window when we press play. There we go, 15 seconds, yeah. I'm not saying that's a good gameplay mechanic, because what if your coins are really spread out? Now at the moment, the other thing is as it runs down, it's just going to keep on counting. There we go, we're in negative numbers, that's no good. What we want to do is, obviously when this game's more fully fledged, we will jump to a game over scene, or back to the introduction, but just to show this is working, we're going to reload the level. So I need to introduce a new library, which is called Unity Scene Management. So I want to go using Unity engine.scene management. So now I can just, if that number gets to below 0, so if timer is less than 0, we want to do something here. So again, this is where we'd normally go to the game over sign, but instead we're just going to reload this level. So we're just going to go scene manager dot load scene. Now it would help if we'd named the scene. So in fact we could just get hold of the current scene, but we'll go and do this properly. This is going to error, so I'm just going to comment it out for the moment so the computer will ignore it. I'm going to come back into Unity. I'm going to go on file, save as. I mean, we've already saved this before, haven't we? We already called it level 1. Okay, but we need to do something else. Yeah, let's replace it. And please come back. Thank you. No. There we go. So if I now go on to File, build settings, scenes in the build. Right now, we haven't done anything with it, and because we're just in a test environment. If I press add open scene, level 1 is now being added to our scene build. So you could prototype 100 levels, but if you only meant 5 levels for your end game player to play, you just put the 5 levels in this window, and we'll come back to this more as we go along. So I've added level 1. So now, and it's important we get this right, if I just now go level 01, oop, I forgot my speech marks. It is case sensitive, so please be careful. Level 01, I can now come back into Unity. And when I play this, I'm going to move away from the start screen. We should see how many I can collect in my 10 seconds. Only a few more seconds remaining. So it's going to get countdown, and it should take me back to the beginning. There we go, I'm back at the beginning. So it's not great for the game player, obviously, because it's not really there yet, but it's showing you the point is you can now reset the game. So if you had a starting platform, it might be more useful. But there we go, we've now got a countdown timer that physically actions and does something. So we're slowly getting there with our game. You've now got enough to create something playable that you could go and prototype and show to people and see whether they enjoy playing it. Of course, your goal is to make something a little more exciting than that. You know, have some more objects in. You could even create the spin code on a cube, so you physically have a wall that's constantly spinning. In fact, let's have a look. Let's do it now. Let's move this over here. So, for example, yeah, I'm going to drag the. I know it's a coin spin code. Doesn't matter. So shrink that down so it's out of my way. I'm just going to drag that onto this one. So because this is not a prefab, it's only put the code onto that one wall. Look, the rest of the walls don't have it. So if I press play now, I'll just come back into scene view. The wall's spinning, not maybe the way I want it to spin, but that could still be interesting, because what I could now do is just stop that code. I could rotate this wall that way instead. Will that make a difference to what I'm looking for? Just split the screen, press play. Okay, so now we could back into top view, Control D, and move that wall down very close, Control D again. Oops, have I done that right? I'm hoping these walls don't clash. They could be just too close to each other. Let's watch what happens, because they are still physics objects, so they could interfere with each other. Oh no, that's working all right. So that would give your player only a time frame to get through. So again, you could you could spend a bit of time just experimenting with these a little bit. You could have no grounding, it's a platform that's spinning. So that's what I want you guys to now do, is create a more interesting level just using this very basic thing. I suppose the one thing I could show you as well, of course, is what if you've collected all the coins. So we could now say if time equals 0, load 1. If what we're going to do, if number of coins equals total number of coins, then obviously you've won this level. So what you gonna give to your user for that? You could stop the clock, I suppose. You could just say timer equals. I'm not sure now. We could add it so at least it stops the clock from working. So in fact, we can just do this, can't we? If the number of coins is not equal to total number of coins, then we're going to have to test if this works. So what I'm doing now is the time will tick down while they're not matching. As soon as they do match, right, what I'm looking at is these start at 0. So I was just making sure that it wouldn't cancel itself out from the word go. It might do. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. Okay, so wait for that to compile. Okay. Why is my timer no longer on display? I think I've broken something because my timer is no longer available. That's a bit of a worry. Okay, the mistake was just simply I was not in full screen view, so the canvas was off screen. So let's see if I can do this nice and quick. I can't remember where I put all the coins. I might give myself some more time. This is where playtesting really does kick in, where you need plenty of people to check and make sure things like numbers add up. I've got, am I going to get there quick enough? So I could do walking faster. Okay, so the clock has stopped. So at this point, we know that 15 seconds, well, it wasn't 15 seconds because I changed the code. I changed the code for 5 times 5, so actually it was 25 seconds I gave myself. So we know that that is sufficient. Now, can we get through there quick enough, or is it going to break us? There we go, I got through. But it does, you know, you could have some penalty as well. But there's lots you can do with this now. With just a few lines of code and a little bit of time and effort, you can create definitely a playable game. And then if you've got game testers, they could just write down how long they had left when the clock stopped to see if it's the right level of competitiveness. Okay, so I look forward to seeing what you're doing. If you've liked what you've seen, please do like and subscribe to my videos on YouTube, and I shall continue with these later.